Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to my new YouTube channel, Will Rides Bikes, which at the moment I'm afraid is a bit of a lie because right now Will can't ride anything. See, 5 weeks ago I had my left hip replaced, so I'm in recovery mode right now. But I'm getting along really great, but I just haven't been cleared yet to ride bikes by my doctor. So until then, I thought I'd just do a little walk around of my hardtail, my GT Backwoods Comp seen here before I made any modifications. But first, let me give you a little background about myself. Number one, I love mountain biking, or more accurately, cross country or really trail riding. I road cycled for a couple of years probably before I got into mountain biking. A friend of mine kind of started describing the sport to me, and I thought it sounded really good, and I wanted to try it, but I didn't want to get in with a lot of money. So I started out with this $40 Kent 29er that I got at a yard sale just to see if I'd like the sport. Well, I didn't just like it, I loved it. This bike had a heavy steel frame, it had cheap components, but it was full suspension and it rode like a dream, really. I actually rode it until I wore the freewheel out, which I guess is not really hard to do. I bought a replacement for like $9 and I was back in the saddle real quick. I continued riding this bike until one day on a local Trash for Treasure website I saw this GT Backwoods Comp. I thought it was a steal at $125, and it's a great riding bike. It's perfect for me and the type of trails that I typically ride. So here we go. Here's a quick walk around of my GT hardtail, and I'll show you some of the features and mods that I've made and give you a little bit of heads up about what's to come. The front suspension is the stock SR Suntour XCT 28 for 27.5 wheels. It's a coil fork, so I understand it can be a bit heavy, and there are some parts of my favorite trails where this fork can be really bumpy. Specs say it has 100 millimeters of travel, and I'm sure on some parts of the trail it uses every bit of it. It's rated for light trails, which is what I mainly ride, but as I said, there are parts of the trail which can be really rough, so this may be something I'll look into upgrading in the near future. The hubs front and rear are quick release skewers with 160 millimeter rotors for the brakes. Speaking of the brakes, I was very pleased that this bike came with hydraulic disc brakes. Promax Decipher brand, which I'm sure are low end, but if it works, it works, and it works. I've never had a failure and hardly ever any squawking. The cockpit's pretty much stock with about a 690 to 700 millimeter bar and a 76 millimeter stem. I tried a shorter stem once, but I'm not quite sure I liked it, so I went back to the original. The original GT branded grips are okay, but recently I've noticed the left one is slipping a bit, so I'm definitely going for an upgrade there. And notice the front derailleur shifter is missing. More on that in a bit. Broke one of my stock pedals, and by a stroke of good fortune and a wonderful daughter who can clearly see the future, a new set arrived in the mail that very day. These are Misra or Misra or Misri, not sure how to pronounce the name exactly, but I just got to tell you they are awesome. They come with replacement pegs and tools, and they come in different colors to match all sorts of different colors of bikes. I even bought a set for my Trek FX2. The frame size is a small medium, and GT specs state that this is a bike for riders 5 feet 5 to 5 feet 7. Now I'm 5 feet 10, or at least I used to be, so I was a little bit concerned when I contacted the seller about this. He told me he was also 5'10", and that's what the bike store sized him at. The size does seem to fit me pretty well, but I do have to extend the seat post to pretty much its max height. More on that later too. For the drivetrain in the rear, I kept the 9-speed 11 to 34 tooth rear cassette, which I believe is Sunrace branded, and the rear derailleur is a Shimano Alivio, which up to now I've been pretty satisfied with. That being said, it is showing signs of wear, and I know it's only a matter of time that I'll have to change it out, but until then I'm going to run it till it breaks. The tires are 27.5 by 2.3 Continental Mountain Kings with slime-filled tubes that I bought at Walmart. These have proven pretty effective, and even though I keep the pressure low, I've not had any problems with pinch flats yet. Going back to that front derailleur shifter missing, you've probably figured out that I ditched the 3x up front and went with a single 34 tooth oval chainring mounted on an IXF crankset. I got these from Amazon for about $50, external bottom bracket included, and I gotta say I love it. It only made sense for me to go to a 1x because I never changed front gears anyway. As to the oval, I can't really tell much of a difference from a round, and I've tried it in several configurations, but it is smooth, so I left it on. I wrapped rubberized electrical tape around the chainstay to protect it from chain slap. And, knock on wood, I've never had a chain drop, yet. The saddle is original and it's not bad. I'm definitely keeping it because I like the way it looks. But I'm planning on putting on a dropper post, which I do plan to route internally, so I'll be covering that project in a future video. Okay, so there it is, my GT Backwoods Comp hardtail. Not the most expensive bike in the world, but it's fun, and that's where I am on my journey right now. So if you're looking for something like this, I would definitely recommend checking your local trash and treasure markets because you never know when you might score a winner. So until next time, thanks for watching my very first YouTube video, and I hope to have more content available soon, especially when I can actually ride again. And if you like what you see, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. Now just find a local trail and get out there and ride. Thanks for watching.